Good afternoon, evening, or morning, whatever time you happen to be watching this video. I am Nathan, and today we are going to be showing you the Tupperware Smart Multi-Cooker. You may be wondering why I have these three pieces. These are not the multi-cooker, but these are actually the three pieces that Tupperware makes that the multi-cooker will actually take the place of these in a lot of situations. So I want to go over what they are real quick so that you understand how the functions of the multi-cooker can actually take the place of these three items. So this is our stack cooker. It does exactly what that sounds like. It does stack cooking in the microwave. So you can put multiple parts of a meal into the different levels and cook it all at the same time. So we're going to be able to do that with the multi-cooker. I'm going to show it to you in a little bit and show you how you can do the different levels. We're actually going to be cooking some pasta today, and I'm going to be throwing in some vegetables in the top and the pasta in the bottom and the meat that goes in with the pasta in the middle section of it. But the other thing that it can take the place of is this is the microwave rice maker. So we've got the rice maker that Tupperware makes here, and which isn't always available, but the multi-cooker is. So it replaces that. And then this is the pasta maker. Now, the pasta maker is also a microwave piece. So you put the water and the pasta in there, pop it in the microwave. When it's done, you grab the lid and pour it out. So the multi-cooker will take the place of these three items, and it'll replace them with one item. So let me set these off to the side, and then I will pull out the multi-cooker. So this is the Smart Multi-Cooker that comes from Tupperware. You can see Tupperware right there. And so it comes with a lot of different parts to it because you use different parts for different functions depending on how you're cooking. So you've got the top part. This one will be used when you're doing the rice along with the vent here, where it will help to collect the starch. Instead of having the starch reabsorbed by the rice, it'll collect up here and but not spill over in your microwave. So that's a nice feature to that. Has instructions on how to use it for the different types of cooking that you can do with it. You have the shielded lid here. I'll explain that in just a minute. And then you've got the top basin here, and then the lower shielded basin. And then you have the bottom piece where we're going to put the water at. Now, this one, apart from these two, will be used when you do pasta by itself or with the rice. So if you're doing rice, you've got the lid, put the lid on here, and you're ready to go. You got your rice and water in there, and it cooks up in the microwave. Now those pieces are really only used for when you're doing the rice, so we'll set them aside because we're not doing rice today. We're doing pasta. Now if you're doing pasta by itself, you can take the water, put it in to there's different fill lines in here, and the instructions will let you know when you get yours. The instructions will let you know exactly which line you need to fill it to for what you're doing. So you just fill the water to the level indicated in the instructions, and then add your pasta and cook it for the appropriate amount of time in the microwave, usually around between 10 to 15 minutes depending on the pasta. And then you also have the ability to do steam cooking in this. And that's what I really love about it, is being able to cook things in the microwave without the microwaves actually hitting the food. And the reason why I like that is if any of you have ever cooked chicken in the microwave, you know that microwaves and chicken do not get along. It turns chicken rubbery, and they dry out, and it just doesn't have the right texture to it after you cook it in the microwave. Well, you can avoid that with this, and that's because you have this shielded basin here. So this actually has a layer of metal inside of it. It's perfectly safe for your microwave, don't worry about that. but that layer of metal keeps the microwaves from ever contacting the food. So when we put the water in the bottom of it, and then we put what we're cooking in here, the microwaves only hit the water, heats up the water, and causes it to steam. And then it's the steam that does the cooking. So then we can add another layer here. And you'll see today that that's how I'm going to do this, is I'm going to put some broccoli up top here. And then you can add your shielded lid so that none of the food is actually hit with the microwaves. Except today I will have pasta in there, so the pasta part will get hit by the microwaves because it'll be in the bottom with the water. But it's going to show you how you can cook the whole meal at the same time that way. You can't steam cook pasta. I don't even want to know how long that would take, because I would imagine it would be hours on hours to get pasta actually to cook if you're trying to do it with steam. But you want the pasta actually to be down in the water. But today we're going to cook some chicken penne and alfredo sauce. Just a take on the classic, we're just using a different noodle. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to have to start though with getting the water into the base of our dish, and I will do that and I will be right back. Okay, so we've added our water into the base of the Smart Multi-Cooker. Now we're going to add in our pasta. We've got our pasta stored in our modular mates here. So I'm going to pour directly out of here into the base of the multi-cooker, the correct amount of pasta that I need for my dish. You'll notice I don't typically measure it out, because I don't typically measure anything out when I'm cooking. I'm just one of those weirdos that does it that way. So then we're going to set this aside, and we're going to pull out our chicken. You may have seen me cutting the chicken when I did the knife demo. If not, you can go back and watch that video. It'll be separate from this one. So I've got the chicken in the That's a Junior bowl right here, and I'm gonna grab the seasoning, and we're gonna add some seasoning to it. Now I'm going to keep this real simple. I don't need to add a whole bunch of different seasonings to this. I'm just going to add some salt in here. And we're going to add some Italian seasoning that's got plenty of variety of different herbs in an Italian seasoning, so there's no reason to go with a whole bunch of different ones and try and make it all fancy. I'm just trying to make it nice and delicious. So we're gonna get that in there, and we're gonna mix it in. Make sure it gets on a nice coating over all the different pieces of chicken there. And then if you see you don't have enough, I could use a little bit more there. So if you see you don't have enough, but you, like me, you've been mixing with your hands here, don't forget when you handle chicken, you need to make sure you wash your hands thoroughly before you handle anything else. Even if you think, oh, I'm just going to grab it for a second, it doesn't matter. It's chicken. You don't want to spread salmonella and get yourself or other people sick. So make sure you maintain proper cleanliness in your kitchen. So let's get that mixed up better now. Okay, we got a better coating on it now. And then we're just going to add this right into the Smart Multi-Cooker. You notice we're adding it into, we've got the shielded basin here. And we're just adding it right in. We're getting all that chicken in there. And then we're going to set our bowl aside and clean our hands one more time. Now once you get your hands clean, we're going to go ahead and grab the top basin here. We're gonna add it in, and this is where you get to see we're doing some stack cooking, because we're actually going to take the broccoli and put it up top here. And we're gonna season it up just a little bit with some salt, maybe a little bit of pepper, not much, just a little. And then we'll give it a little squirt of some extra virgin olive oil here. So then we're going to take the shielded lid. We're going to put it on top here. Now some of that broccoli is a little too tall for it, but that's okay. You can either cut it down, or you can sit it on top, and as it cooks and heats up, it'll be fine. So we're going to put this in the microwave. I'm going to do it starting for about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to check the chicken. And I'll be back to show you what that looks like at that time. Okay, so we're back here after the first 10 minutes of the multi-cooker in the microwave. We know it's going to need some more time cooking, but what we want to do is we want to pull it out and kind of show you where it's at. You can see the broccoli's getting there. It's not too far off from being done. The chicken, though, it's got a ways to go, but what we're going to do is we're going to stir it up a little bit here. And make sure it's getting a nice even cook as it goes through. So we're going to stir that up just a little bit, and we're going to set this aside on the plate here. That way we don't get stuff all over the place. And then I'm going to grab one of our other spoons, and we're going to stir this up. And see, our pasta is pretty close to being done. It does need a little bit more time, but we're getting there with it, so that's good. We're going to add a little bit more water back into it because it has been cooking steam. So as steam happens, water goes away. So we're going to add a little bit more back in. And now that it has more water, we're going to put this all back together. And we're going to put it back into the microwave for another 10 minutes. And we'll do it 10 minutes at a time until it's done. Okay, so we're back after the second 10-minute time frame. We're going to go ahead and pull it apart like we did before. We want to make sure we stir up the chicken a little more. It's getting there, but it still has some more time to go on the chicken. We expected that. It usually takes about 30 minutes or so to cook the chicken. So I'm going to stir that up a little bit there. Now the pasta here is done, so we're going to actually go ahead and pull that out. We're going to drain it, and we're going to add water back into the bottom. So we've got our water, fresh water back in there. And then, because in our house, we actually have Leah, who has a gluten intolerance, so we do special noodles for her. So the noodles we did at first were the ones that we used for me and her dad. So we're going to add the gluten-free noodles in next. And that way we can cook hers up as well. So yes, you can cook regular and gluten-free noodles in the multi-cooker with no problem. So we're going to put this back together, and we're going to put it back into the microwave for another 10 minutes. So we're back with the Smart Multi-Cooker after our third 10-minute block for a total of 30 minutes cook time here so far. We're going to pull the lid off, and you can see the broccoli is nice and done. The chicken is cooked, and it is ready to go. And then we've got our second batch of pasta that's done as well. So That gives us both types of pastas that we need. That gives us the chicken and the broccoli. Now all we have to do is add it to our plate and add some alfredo sauce, and it will be ready to go. I will be back to show you the finished product. Okay, so here we are with the end product. This is the pasta and veggies that we made in our steamer or smart multi-cooker, whichever you want to call it. We've heard it called both. The official name is the smart multi-cooker. So, and that is our end product.